then create this gay-like kind of character, lesbian kind of attitude in the life of women. Because any woman that is wearing trousers is already cross-dressing. And cross-dressing makes you look like a man. And spiritually, you are already becoming a lesbian, but you don't know. So her own mission was to come, design female trousers. She came from wherever world she crawled out from to design female trousers as a satanic servant and create the idea of wearing female trousers in the mind of people. And then they will now say, design female trousers separate, then design male trousers separate. So that when they complain that, why are women wearing trousers? They will say, well, you can see that this design is different from male trousers. So there is nothing wrong with it. So this is an idea that Satan has sent this sister to create in the minds of people, so that they can say, these are female trousers and these are male trousers. And when God was talking about female, about dressing, that a man should not wear what pertains to woman, and woman should not wear what pertains to man, in Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 5. The same Deuteronomy 22 verse 5 that many preachers are misinterpreting. God already gave a commandment, the kind of clothing they will make for the priests, the men in the Bible. And those passages did not mention female. It didn't mention women as being the type of people that will wear trousers. I'm going to show you in the Bible, you will see yourself. So reform means to change something. So this woman came to change the way women were dressing and make them to dress like men. It's a research I want you to go and do on your own. Now, before I go into the trousers, the meaning of trousers, and how I was able to discover trousers in the Bible, of which I'm going to show you, I want to tell you this. And this also goes to parents who go to market and they buy mini skirts for their daughters. They buy trousers, jean trousers, plain trousers for their daughters. And then they buy all these kind of short gowns, short tops that will expose the breasts of their daughters, chest clothes that will expose their cleavage, which is not supposed to be shown. And then you buy all these clothes that have short hands, that when your daughters wear them, or when ladies wear them, it will expose their hands, expose their bodies. And then you buy mini skirt that will just stop here. Some of them, the skirt is still short, they will tear it. The shortness of the skirt is not enough for them. They will go ahead to further tear it on the side, so that when they sit down, their private parts will show. The colors of the pant they are wearing will show. The map of their private parts will show. And then their legs will be showing, so that men will be seeing them. Oh my God, this is not good. This lady is very beautiful. Look at her laps. So if you are the kind of parents that are buying all these materials for your daughters, you are helping demons to possess them. Yes, you are helping demons to possess them and use them. You are turning them into prostitutes. You are turning them into prostitutes. And let me tell you something you may have never heard. If you are a woman or you are a lady, and all the clothes you are buying from market are short skirts, mini skirts, trousers which are meant for men, and then you only buy those ones that will tighten your legs. I want to tell you that you are from the marine kingdom. Yes, you are from the marine kingdom. It's possible that you are from the marine kingdom without your knowledge. That means the marine spirit is using you without you knowing it. Many people you see out there that are using skirts, especially you see a beautiful lady, very beautiful, very fresh, good looking, very attractive, and then they will now wear mini skirt. All the clothes they are wearing is mini skirt. It's possible that such sisters, such ladies, such girls have been initiated into the marine world. Yes. Let me tell you something. What is in your mind? What were you thinking when you went to the market? And there are a lot of decent clothes in the market. You skip buying those decent clothes. You rather choose to buy the ones that when you wear it, you enter bus and you sit down and all your laps will open. And the next thing you will do is you'll be dragging it down. Why are you dragging the skirt down? And you know that even if you drag it from now till Jesus comes, it can never be longer than its short size, because it was short before you bought them. They were short before you went to market and you bought them. You saw the. So Lucifer has a kingdom in the deep sea. That is what I wanted you to know. That when they tell you that materials such as attachment, weave-on, makeups, all these artificial lashes, even some people are using artificial teeth. Like when one of your teeth breaks, you now go to hospital. You tell a doctor to change, to give you a replacement of the teeth, your natural God-given teeth that has lost. When you are taking an artificial teeth, do you know where that teeth is coming from? Do you know where it is coming from? If you are wearing artificial teeth, my dear, you are a kind of using artificial material, because God didn't give you that teeth. Because those teeth you are using, you don't know where they bring them from. Most of them are coming from the marine kingdom. They are coming from the marine world, from the marine market. Some people, maybe something happens to them, their face burned, and then they want to go and do skin surgery and change their skin. If you are doing such a thing, then you are buying from the marine market, because there is no other skin that you will ever wear other than the one that God has given you. So if fire burns your skin, then you leave it like that. Leave it like that, the way God has given it to you. Then when you die, you go to heaven. But when you change your skin, you are committing a sin of telling God that the way your skin is, you don't want it to be that way anymore. So many things like this happen. Some people do bum enlargement, breast enlargement. All these surgeries you are doing, you are creating an impression that God has not created you well. So this video is meant to correct all this nonsense. So now, marine market or the marine world is where all the materials that make men and women worldly and defile is sold and bought. The jewelries, female trousers, any kinds of jeans, whether male or female jeans, whether it's a top jeans or is a trouser jeans, makeups, attachments, earrings, and anything called artificial materials are sold in this market. Anything called artificial materials are sold in this market. Just like I have given you a Bible verse here that talks about kingdoms and monsters. I'm going to show you other Bible verses that prove to you that there are monsters that are living in the deep seas. There are monsters that are living in the dead seas. But before we go into the Bible to be able to see who these monsters are and what damages they have caused upon the human race, it is very important that I give brief history of jewelries and female trousers. I only gave you one verse in the Bible that talk about these monsters that live in the sea. There are other monsters that live in the seas that are the one causing you to sin against God by giving you all these materials that you are using. So before we go into Bible verses, when I start explaining the reasons you should not use trousers, makeups, and all this, we'll go into Bible reading. Then I will show you some Bible verses, and then before I now tell you and give you some Bible verses that talk about trousers and talk about jewelries and why you should leave them. Before then, I want to give you brief history of jewelries. So, according to this unagreeable history that I read online, so the earliest known jewelry was made by the Neanderthals. Neanderthals are the descendants of the Nephilims. I don't know if you have heard about the Nephilims. The Nephilims are those fallen angels. If you go to the book of Genesis chapter 6, I may not read it. Genesis chapter 6 is a very popular verse. Genesis chapter 6, you can read on your own. You can just read from verse 2 and then to verse 4. Okay? Where God talks about the giants. When the fallen angels were cast down, they took over the land, the world. So the giants. So these Neanderthals, or the descendants of the Nephilims, generations that were, they came from the lineage of the fallen angels. Because of the fallen angels was the major reason God, used flood to destroy the first world. Okay? So as they kept marrying human beings, they were giving birth to people that were more like them, more giants, so they are the Neanderthals. Like the pictures you are seeing on the screen now, you see that they look like giants. They look like giants, the fallen angels. So I am going to make a video about the giants. I'm going to make a video about them. I just want to tell you that these jewelries you are using, the necklace you are using, the earrings you are using, the jewelry of gold and silver and the shining stones, anything shining stones. These people, these fallen angels, they were the first people to make it. And I'm not surprised. Do you know why I'm not surprised? God used shine stones to create Lucifer. I will show you in the Bible, maybe in the next part when I start explaining why you shouldn't use all these things. God used a lot of shining stones to create Lucifer. So anything shining stones, shining materials, gold, jewelry, all these things that you are wearing on your body, they are actually meant to pollute and defile you, because they are created by they are made by demons. So these Neanderthals who lived and are still living, I believe they are still living because there are still fallen angels in our midst today. There are fallen angels, demons that are walking even among human beings. The difference is that now they assume human flesh. By drinking blood, they are drinking human blood, they begin to assume human flesh. And they are living among men and they are walking among men. It's possible that even at your working places now, there are demons who are that TVs, phones, and all those things I mentioned are image of the beast. What I mean is that those things represent Satan. Let me tell you something about your phone, about your TV, about your DSTV, about all the gadgets you have in your house that you don't know. All those things you have your phone, Satan is tracking you spiritually through them. When you buy a new phone, let me tell you what to do. Because in here, they have phones that they are using today. They had them hundreds of years before they brought them into the world. They had them there, and they had all the numbers of the phone, the part numbers of the phone, the serial numbers of the phones, and then they had trackers of each phone you are using. They have the spiritual trackers, they have the physical trackers. The spiritual trackers is what they use to track you while you are at home spiritually. They use to monitor your life, to monitor everything you do, what you say, everything you do, they use. If I may ask you now, when last did you kiss your wives? When last did you hug your husbands? You wives, have you ever welcomed your husband in a romantic manner? You that have married your wife a long while, have you ever sucked the breast of your wife? If you haven't done any of these, it means that you are not romantic towards your spouse and your marriage has a big problem. Attachment, weave-ons, and female trousers for you. Yes, he created them using some of the fallen angels. I am going to read some history. I'm going to tell you a history. I read this history online. You can go and check it online. I read this history online when I was doing research about these jewelries. I was trying to, dig some research about this jewelry, and I discovered some things that I'm going to tell you the brief story of how jewelries came, the first people, the first human race that created these jewelries. So you know the history and how they came about and why these things are into existence. Is because Satan wants to use them and take you to hell. Okay? So the title of this message is the marine market, or materials from the marine world. What is the word marine? The word marine may sound too common to you, but I want you to know that up to 70% of all the problems you have in this world are coming from there. If you go to, let us read Ezekiel 29. There are kingdoms in the water. If you don't know, there are kingdoms in the water, and it is important Ezekiel chapter 29. I'll read verse 3 and verse 4. The Bible says, "Speak and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, My river is my own, and I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause thee the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee up out of the midst of thy rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales." What do you understand in this verse here? I want you to understand that Lucifer is living in the deep sea. He has a kingdom in the sea. He has a kingdom in the sea. Pharaoh here, king of Egypt, the great dragon, God is trying to tell you that even king of Egypt was used by the devil. Satan can possess any king of this earth and use them. So God is actually addressing Lucifer here. He's not actually talking about the literal king of Pharaoh, the one that God conquered and liberated the Israelites from him. God is referring to Lucifer in this passage. So the Pharaoh here, king of Egypt here, is talking about the Lucifer. He even called him the great dragon. So Lucifer has a kingdom in the deep seas. I don't know if you have been hearing about the Bermuda Triangle and how many souls, how many planes, and how many ships that this Bermuda Triangle has swallowed. You hear that certain planes, they are missing, certain ships, they sank. Anytime you hear that ship sank, it's because that ship probably may have passed where the Bermuda Triangle is located, and any ship that sinks into that Bermuda Triangle can never be recovered. They are going straight down to the Bermuda Kingdom, which is the kingdom of Satan. Satan has a kingdom in that Bermuda Triangle. And if you draw a map of the three countries that connect this Bermuda Triangle kingdom, they form a triangle, which is the sign of Satan, the sign of the devil. That triangle is a sign of the devil. So the three countries that connect this Bermuda Triangle, they form a sign, which is the sign of Satan, the triangle symbol, which is the sign of Satan. So Bermuda Kingdom Bermuda Triangle is a Bermuda Kingdom. It is a kingdom in the deep sea where Satan is living. The Lucifer is a very mighty kingdom. So God is telling you here in this Bible, in this verse, that the great dragon had claimed the ownership of the sea, of the rivers. It is God that created everything, but Satan is ruling. He takes dominion of the seas, of the lands, of the air. He begins to rule, but God is the ultimate power. So Lucifer has a kingdom in the deep sea. That is what I wanted you to know. That when they tell you that materials such as attachment, weave-on, makeups, all these artificial lashes. Even some people are using artificial teeth. Like when one of your teeth breaks, you now go to hospital. You tell a doctor to change, to give you a replacement of the teeth, your natural God-given teeth that has lost. When you are taking an artificial teeth, do you know where that teeth is coming from? Do you know where it is coming from? If you are wearing artificial teeth, my dear, you are a kind of using artificial material, because God didn't give you that teeth. Because those teeth you are using, you don't know where they bring them from. Most of them are coming from the marine kingdom. They are coming from the marine world, from the marine market. Some people, maybe something happens to them, their face burned, and then they want to go and do skin surgery and change their skin. If you are doing such a thing, then you are buying from the marine market, because there is no other skin that you will ever wear other than the one that God has given you. So if fire burns your skin, then you leave it like that. Leave it like that, the way God has given it to you. Then when you die, you go to heaven. But when you change your skin, you should understand that a marriage is instituted and signed by God. When a man and a woman have come together as a couple and they sleep together as a couple for the very first time in the history and the beginning of their marriage, angel comes down with a book of marriage and God signs that marriage. Everything is sealed and signed by God. Any man born of a woman that comes to file a divorce paper to divorce any couple signed by God, the battle now is between God and the person who is separating this marriage, because no man on earth has the right and the power to separate any couples that God has joined together.